Hello, Nick here, addiction facilitator and counselor here at HARP. At HARP, our 5I curriculum helps people move beyond substances to treat the behaviors and trauma that drive addiction. This is where shame lifts and real recovery begins. In order to find a solution to a problem, we must identify what the problem is. We start with the first module, I1, identification. Lift the shame, name the problem. Now, most people are told addiction is a matter of willpower or a choice problem, but that belief fuels stigma and is far from the truth. At HARP, we replace that with how the brain's reward and memory systems wire behavior and the science of the brain. So clients begin to see they have a disease and are not the disease. That shift turns shame into clarity. It opens the door to say, I have a problem and I'm ready for help. Accountability begins here. Now we move on to our next module, I2, integrity, doing the right thing when no one's looking. Here we build trust, starting with brutal honesty. Now, every addict feels the need to lie, not because they're bad, but it's because that's how they survived. Every lie bends reality a little until one day it snaps back. In that moment, it sounds like, I can't live like this anymore. And that's reality snapping back into place. That's the first honest thing they've said in years. And that's where real recovery begins. At HARP, we teach that honesty is words, but integrity is action. And when your words and actions line up and marry themselves, so to speak, you stop collapsing under lies and start standing upright again. We move on to I3, impartiality. Here we start breaking down the link between your behaviors, your trauma, and your addiction. Now, early on in childhood, patterns were built, behaviors were formed, and they once have kept you safe, but now they keep you stuck. And when you really understand that, you start to understand, I need to heal and become aware of these behaviors. Through exercises like people, places, and things, you'll take a look at your rigid beliefs and maladaptive behaviors, character defects even, and we'll identify 6 or 7 personal traits to work on. Now, that's not surface recovery. That's deep rewiring. That's HARP. Now we move on to I4, interest. We move to the heart of it, trauma. At HARP, we don't just talk about trauma. We teach you to track it, to spot it, and to stop it before it pulls you back to relapse. Fight, flight, freeze, fawn. These aren't your flaws. They're your history speaking. Through the amends to self letter, you meet your younger self and say, I see you, I forgive you, and now I choose differently. Self-forgiveness is a big part of this process and a big part of recovery. That's the moment awareness becomes responsibility, and that's when change gets real. As we move to our final module, I5, Impetus. If you live life in line with your values and core beliefs, you live in line with yourself. And when you do that, life starts to flow. The dots start to connect. You stop trying to control everyone else and start mastering what's within your circle of control. Then we build a practical exit plan. Goals, boundaries across all of life's domains, phone numbers, accountability, a daily connection and a daily structure, day to day. 90 meetings in 90 days. That's what purpose feels like. That's what recovery looks like at HARP. So recovery isn't just a moment, it's a life. Being through the addiction process myself, and now reaping the rewards of recovery, I'll explain to you why HARP's different. Most programs just treat the symptoms, the initial phase. HARP treats the behaviors and traumas that keep addiction alive. We reduce shame with brain-based education. We replace willpower myths with integrity and boundaries. We personalize progress with measurable traits and trauma tracking. And then we anchor it all in values, purpose, and aftercare. That's the 5I difference.